I'm in a warehouse right now, right next to Nintendo of America's headquarters. I've sent my top detective and colleague, Geckoy, into the HQ. He's going to go in and find all of Doug Bowser's deepest secrets about Nintendo's 2025. Though I sent him like a day ago, and for some reason he's not back, but I'm sure he'll be fine. In the meantime, let's go for my predictions for Nintendo's 2025, and at the end review my totally accurate predictions for the company's 2024. January. Pitch black. Nothingness. Everyone waiting in suspense. Then, Bazinga! Nintendo Switch 2. Yeah, that's the name of it. The dock looks like the leaks, the system looks like the leaks, you know the drill. Basically just a beefier Nintendo Switch. PS4 Pro level graphics, which is perfect. This is going to be one of the rare instances Nintendo will really show off the hardware capabilities, because it is impressive how good the tech is for such a small machine. It'll be able to run a consistent 1080p 60fps in handheld and docked, with a 4K 30fps option for docked also. Nintendo Switch 2's trailer will also tease a few new games, a new 3D Mario game, and a sequel to Tomodachi Life. There will also be a ton of third-party games shown, like Metaphor ReFantazio, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Elden Ring, and Sonic Racing Crossworlds. A memo Nintendo wants to get across is that they're getting as much third parties as possible, especially ones that didn't put their games on Switch because of graphical limitations. This is not only to get people to buy a Switch 2 as opposed to other next-gen systems, but also to show developers that the system is graphically capable of a lot. This trailer will also showcase the elusive C button, which I'm betting stands for Connect. It'll let you connect your Switch 2 to the TV wirelessly, and you can use both screens. This will be used to show specific gimmicks in certain games that'll utilize both screens, and also DS games on Nintendo Switch Online. Think of having the bottom screen of a DS game on your Switch 2 and the top screen of a DS on your TV. It'll also showcase patches for select Nintendo Switch games that they'll gradually release so that they'll look and run better. Basically just upscaled graphics and performance upgrades. They won't charge for this, but they'll make it exclusive to the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack. These will be dubbed Nintendo Plus, so on the NSO page you'll just be able to install the patches, which for example will be titled Breath of the Wild Plus, Super Mario Odyssey Plus. Speaking of, those games alongside a few other 2017 games will be available at launch. Fans will be divided, as this is not only gatekept behind the expansion pack, but also is being drip-fed gradually over time. But it is something. DS will also be expansion pack exclusive, but Nintendo will make GBA available for regular NSO members to make up for it. Not N64 though for some reason. DS won't be exclusive to Switch 2, but you obviously won't be able to play in the style in which you use both a TV and a Switch, just both on one screen. Anyways, this trailer for Switch 2 will be reminiscent of the trailer for the original Switch, but really trying to emphasize that this is a new console, not an accessory or something, to avoid confusion like with the Wii U. Nintendo is going to be very careful with this. The Nintendo Switch 2 will be slated for an early May release, with an in-depth presentation in March. Now developers will finally start spilling the beans on what games are also coming to Switch 2. To keep it simple, there's going to be a lot of competition for the PS5 and Xbox Series X now, although a few key developers will keep quiet until the big presentation. Besides that, we won't hear much in January besides the release of Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, which will be Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. Now let's move on. February. In February, we'll have two things. One, a partner direct dedicated to regular Nintendo Switch software, showcasing that despite the Switch 2 on the way, Nintendo doesn't plan on abandoning the original Switch anytime soon. In this partner direct, we'll get the surprise announcement of Kirby's Planet Robobot Deluxe. It'll be weird, but a similar scenario to Endless Ocean last year, where it's developed by an external partner but published by Nintendo. It will just be Kirby Planet Robobot in the style of Return to Dreamland Deluxe, and set for release for $60 in April. It'll be controversial for being $60, but I mean hey, it'll include new minigames akin to the ones in Dreamland Deluxe. Outside of that, February will also see the annual Pokemon Presents for Pokemon Day. We'll get a new trailer for Pokemon Legends ZA, confirming it will be cross-gen. It'll be set in the present, and the story will tie into Legends Arceus because of how the protagonist from that game came from Kalos. It will take place in the entirety of Kalos as we know, but it's going through major renovations and it will be massive. There will be massive parks for finding Pokemon, domes of different environments similar to the second DLC of Scarlet and Violet, and massive arenas for Pokemon battles. It will keep the same core gameplay of Legends Arceus, expanding upon it with different attack styles for even more strategy. The game will be set for a September release. We'll get a new Poke Park game announced set for June. It will indeed be a new Poke Park game and heavily targeted towards casuals obviously. It'll be in the same style as new Pokemon Snap, being developed by the same developer, Bandai Namco. Lastly, we'll get a teaser for a new Mystery Dungeon game. I really don't know much about Mystery Dungeon, but I'm sure it'll utilize the newer generations of Pokemon that we haven't seen yet in the series, and be developed by Pokemon Works and Spike Chunsoft. It'll be scheduled for fall. March. In March, we'll see the big Switch 2 presentation. It'll be similar to the one for the original Switch. Here's the rundown of everything. We'll get a more detailed look at the system, including its graphical capabilities and gimmicks. As leaked prior, the Joy-Cons will be magnetic and just snap on, and also use Hall effect technology for the Joy-Cons, effectively eliminating drift. The Joy-Cons will have visual differences beyond colors to further distinguish them from the original Joy-Cons. They'll still be the same price as regular Joy-Cons, but with different colors. We'll also see a new beefier Pro Controller taking inspiration from the GameCube with things like the shoulder buttons from that. They'll of course still sell the original Pro Controller, which will be compatible with Switch 2, and the regular Switch Joy-Cons will be compatible via Bluetooth. We'll then get a big portion dedicated to third parties, and those games coming to Switch 2, and even some major third-party exclusive announcements, which I don't really care enough to think of. Then we'll get actual first-party game announcements, exclusive to the Switch 2. We'll get a new 3D Mario game at launch, titled Super Mario Discovery. It'll be akin to Bowser's Fury, but much bigger in scale. There will be different worlds, but it's all different kingdoms Mario will travel to in the search for Princess Peach, who's gone missing alongside Luigi, Bowser, and everyone else. Mario will have to travel to these different kingdoms, where the art style itself will fully change alongside it in each different world. For example, we'll see a watercolor painting style, a Spider-Verse type style, a super realistic style akin to the famous Nintendo Hire This Man, and much more. Super Mario Discovery will release in May alongside the Nintendo Switch 2. There will be an exclusive Mario Discovery themed Switch 2 releasing around the same time. Now, it will be controversial though that Mario Discovery will be priced at $70, and Nintendo will mention that they will only price games they feel like are worthy of it at that price point, similar to what they said about Tears of the Kingdom. And this is true, not every release will be $70, unless if it's a major AAA game. Nintendo will try to become more dynamic with their pricing without pushing it too much. We'll then see Tomodachi Life 2, which is a major upgrade to the original Tomodachi Life, this time taking place in a full-on city instead of just an island. There's not much here to say except it's just Tomodachi Life better, with a lot more social features, Mii customization from Miitopia, and a lot more. Tomodachi Life 2 will only be $50. Nintendo will also showcase how Miis will have their own little app instead of just being hidden away in the system settings. This will be another launch title and a key game to attract casuals. We'll then see the announcement of Mario Kart Dimensions, or something like that. They're gonna ditch the numbers and titles though, I know that. I just really don't know what they'll do for a gimmick, so I'll just say there's going to be different wacky dimensions, putting twists on original courses, and there's going to be different art styles tracks will switch to between mid-race, similar to the art style swapping thing in Mario Discovery. Mario Kart Dimensions will be released in August for $70 probably. Surprisingly, we'll see a new WarioWare game announced, and it'll be called WarioWare Connected. It'll utilize the Switch 2's gimmick of two screens similar to Movement and the Joy-Cons. It'll be a smaller title, even smaller than a regular WarioWare game, because it's mainly to showcase the gimmicks of Switch 2. It'll have an online system though, similar to Get It Together, and get it consistently updated for a while. It'll be priced at $50, releasing in September. Next will be the announcement of a new Mario sports game. I really want it to be baseball, but I have a bad feeling they'll just skip it and do tennis again. It'll be Mario Tennis Unbreakable or something. The main gimmick will be different types of brackets you can equip with different stat bonuses and such, creating different types of playstyles. There will also be a story mode similar to Mario Tennis Aces, but much more expanded upon. Mario Tennis Unbreakable will release in July for $60. It'll be developed by Camelot as per usual. Then we'll get a super cool Metroid section, a new trailer for Prime 4, confirming its cross-gen, and it'll be Prime 4. Really amazing graphically and a worthy successor to the first two. It'll be released in October. Nintendo will also announce HD ports of Metroid Prime 2 and 3 releasing the day of the presentation on the original Nintendo Switch. They'll just be simple upscalings bundled for $60. The presentation will end with the announcement of the next Animal Crossing, Animal Crossing Blowout. That's the best I got, man. I'm sorry. I really can't think of anything better. I would do Festival, but we already got Amiibo Festival. But the theme is party, celebration, festival, that kind of stuff. It'll be a lot more social, take place in a more normal town, akin to New Leaf, but with the customization of New Horizons. There'll be a huge carnival you'll be able to customize, and a little island you can customize too, where it'll just be a full-on mini New Horizons. It'll be slated for November, priced at $70. I forgot to mention this earlier, but the Mario stuff will be announced in a big Mario 40th Anniversary section. They'll say that there will be a ton of other events throughout the year, including other game announcements, although I'll only cover game announcement stuff here. Also, all of the games here will be exclusive to the Switch 2. They're not trying to pull in no games like the PS5 with PS4 by having all their games also available on the original Switch. But there will be a few things left in 2024 like Prime 4 and Legends EA being cross-gen. But that's really all for the big presentation. Some things will be incredibly hype, like Mario Discovery, some things will be controversial, like WarioWare Connected being $50 and the Switch 2 games being exclusive, but overall it'll be exciting. Switch 2 will be releasing May 2nd for $400, which will also be controversial. To summarize that presentation, we got Super Mario Discovery, Mario Kart Dimensions, Mario Tennis Unbreakable, WarioWare Connected, Tomodachi Life 2, Metroid Prime 2+3 HD, and Animal Crossing Blowout all announced. This will be alongside a few major third-party announcements as well. The rest of March will be pretty quiet though, except Xenoblade X Definitive Edition. April will just be nothing but Switch 2 advertising everywhere. Also Kirby Planet Robobot Deluxe. Yippee. May May will see the release of Switch 2, which will sell just about 4 million units that month alone. Nintendo has been expecting a shortage, and while there will be one, it won't be as bad as the original Switch. Remember, they've been preparing for this for a long time now. Super Mario Discovery will be peak, getting 10s out of 10s all across the board. Mario Team has been working on this since 2018, there's no way they can fumble it. Tomodachi Life 2 will also be received fairly positively. A ton of third-party games will also be at launch, both new games and older games that were too graphically advanced for the first Switch. June will see quite a few things. We'll see the release of the new Poke Park. I'm not going to try predicting anything about it, because I know nothing about the series, but it'll be alright I guess. We'll also get a traditional direct, with a mix of Switch 1 and Switch 2 news. We'll get a trailer for Legends ZA, which will cost $70 on both Switch 1 and Switch 2, still releasing in September. New trailers for Mario Kart Dimensions, WarioWare Connected, Animal Crossing Blowout, and the rest of the announced titles. Lastly, we'll see the announcement of a new 2D Donkey Kong game though, titled... Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm gonna stick with the prediction from 2024 of Donkey Kong Country: The Wilds. It was basically a 3D Donkey Kong game where you travel to different islands to stop K. Rool from industrializing them, but being able to play as DK himself and the other Kongs. But I still want to predict this for 2025, but as a 2D game. The reason I'm switching to 2D? This and Mario Discovery were both made by the Mario team. They've had 8 years, man. I think they could have handled both with maybe some assistance with other teams for DKC: The Wilds. It'll be set to release in December and be $70, just in time for Donkey Kong December, baby. That'll be all for that direct, the only new first-party announcement being Donkey Kong Country: The Wilds. July will see the release of Mario Tennis Unbreakable, and it'll score above average for the Mario sports games. Other than that, it'll be a pretty quiet month. August. In August, we'll see the release of Mario Kart Dimensions, which will be amazing, both gameplay-wise and graphically-wise. Then we'll get a Pokemon Presents again. More info on the new Mystery Dungeon game, and just like Pokepark, I don't know enough to give stuff like this a title, but it'll look cool and release in October. A final trailer for Legends ZA, and it will be the one. It will be shaping up to be one of the best looking Pokemon games in a while. I will be excited to buy a Pokemon game and be confident that it will be good. The Pokemon company will then realize, maybe we should give Game Freak more time on these games. Of course, there will also be mobile game updates, but we don't care about that. Moving on. September. In September, we'll see the release of WarioWare Connected and Pokemon Legends ZA. Legends ZA will be critically acclaimed, and WarioWare Connected will be average. We'll also get a direct. Still for both Switch 1 and Switch 2 games, but we'll get a few new announcements alongside new trailers for previously announced games. We'll get the announcement of Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD, both bundled for $70 and releasing shortly after the presentation for Switch 1 and Switch 2. We'll then get a trailer for a new Star Fox game releasing exclusively for Switch 2 in February 2026. It'll be titled Star Fox Vengeance and be a direct sequel to the original. Why is it called Star Fox Vengeance, you ask? I don't know anything about Star Fox, and it sounds like a cool name. It'll be developed by Platinum. We'll then get the announcement of Super Mario Warriors, a Warrior-style game but for Super Mario. It'll be set for spring 2025. The presentation will close with one last 40th anniversary announcement for Super Mario, being Super Mario Maker 3. It'll just be a teaser and be set for 2026, probably releasing in summer. We'll also get our first tease for the new Mario movie film, being confirmed to be a Donkey Kong spin-off. October. In October, we'll see the release of Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, and it's gonna be amazing, you guys. It's literally going to be peak. It'll be worth the wait. There'll also be Mystery Dungeon, and it'll be decent. November. In November, we'll see the release of Animal Crossing Blowout, and it'll be a big step up from New Horizons. Villagers have much more personality again, there aren't things missing at launch, and a slate of updates are planned for the next 2 years. It'll be received well, and casuals will eat it all up. This will probably sell like 3 million units before 2026. It'll also be included in a new bundle alongside the Switch 2 for the holidays. December. Donkey Kong December, baby. Donkey Kong Country: The Wilds will release and be received fairly positively. As the Mario team's first DK game, it will live up to the quality of Retro Studios' DKC games. Nintendo won't do much at the Game Awards as usual, but they probably will win a few categories this time around. And that's really all for Nintendo's 2025. Now let's talk about my predictions for 2024, and dear god, we were all really in the mindset going into 2024 that it would be Switch 2 year. So cut me some slack here. We literally got nothing I predicted. No new 3D Mario, no Star Fox Infinity, no Donkey Kong Country: The Wilds yet, no new Mystery Dungeon yet, no Mario Warriors yet, or even no Metroid Prime 4 release. We did get a new Mario Party, but that was kinda a given. Sadly, didn't get the 8-player gimmick in regular Mario Party though. I mean, I was right with Luigi's Mansion 2 releasing in July at least, but yeah, that was a really bad year for predictions. Dude, what took you so long? I sent you into the headquarters like a day ago. What is Nintendo's 2025 gonna look like? Was I right? Nintendo is going to file for bankruptcy. What? Yeah, turns out they're done making video games and everything else. They plan on burning all of their money in a few days. Isn't that like incredibly illegal, it's not going to stop them. I'm going home. Well, damn.